actually 2 weeks. Sorry, 2 weeks. Just double check.
And we're not missing a beat. Want to say thank you, hello, and welcome to everybody that has tuned on in to the Area Cup Series as Circuit of the Americas makes way for yet another round. The round to follow after this will be the regular season finale at Talladega Super Speedway. But today it's all about the twists and turns from Austin, Texas. Hi, I'm John Ramos alongside Hunter Sleppy, and the sim world comes back to life with yet another Area Cups Series race. Right off the gun, Dylan Alt, Jake Nichols, Seth Nolan, James Scioli are the fast four in the practice session going on. Hunter Sleppy, you're with us alongside once again. What have we missed from the All-Star race? Yes, I know I was away doing things in person, but the sim world I heard came to life, and what are some of these drivers possibly talking about before we roll to the high banks of the 2.66 mile super speedway?
Yeah, so we had an all-star race back a week ago. It was more so like an off week for area, but nonetheless, we had a fantastic photo finish. It was fun. Sebastian Marin got through again. Jake Nichols was there as well. But we're going back from oval racing to some road course racing back at COTA. This is the shorter layout rather than the 4-mile long layout. It's the 2.3-mile layout that the Cup Series ran earlier this season in the real life world. But again, Jake Nichols coming up with just a bit short of that all-star race, and he is looking for some vengeance, and he is the only winner when we went to COTA back in season 2, and he hasn't won since Darlington, so look to get some more bonus points towards his playoff goal.
Indeed, and it's going to be really, really fun to see. So Alt, Nichols, Knoll, still currently the top of the speed charts from there. I want to talk points because that's what we're going to keep up to date, I would say, throughout the entirety of this race. Now, for the ones that saw the Watkins Glen feature, very often you would tell you're not going to get any cautions, right? And you're not going to get any cautions tonight with it being a road course. That's how area rules work. Once you take the green flag, the next flag will be the white, followed by the checkered the lap later. It's a pretty decently sized field so far from what I've seen. The length is pretty substantial, I would say, for some of these drivers, but points are on the line. Hunter, who?
And on the outside in, and again, it's 12 drivers. Everyone that's got a win is in. We thought Logan Klamper was going to be a for sure lock after his win earlier in the season, but he has failed to make multiple races. He only got 5 starts on the season, so if you miss about 2 or 3, you're flirting with disaster on missing, but if you miss more than 3, you're definitely done with the win on that. So Seth Knoll, Jake Nichols, John Hall, Dylan Alt, Peyton Howell, and Bailey Turner all in with wins. Flirting with that top 20 cushion. Now, again, you have to be top 20 in points with the win in order to qualify for the playoffs. Travis Beckner is sitting right at 20th, and he is the only one from what I've heard so far tonight that is not complaining about the setup, the track, the car, anything like that. Beckner loves road courses. He shows out well. So if he gets a win tonight, he'll be well within the top 20 threshold, and that win will lock him in to the postseason. Hayden Swank and Patrick Moose are also sitting barely inside the top 20. Important to note because Talladega is in 2 weeks' time. We're off again next week, but Talladega is the final regular season race, and that's the last race for these guys to try and lock themselves in to the playoffs. Seth Knoll has a 21-point lead over Jake Nichols and a 30-point lead over John Hall for the regular season title, which gets bonus points in itself. So as long as Seth Knoll doesn't have a bad night, pretty much could be locked up. Slight chance he loses it at Talladega because anything can happen. But Knoll, Nichols, and Hall are the main ones to focus on for that regular season title.
Knoll, Nichols, and Hall. Okay, good to know. Now here's something else to note for the viewers watching back at home. NR Night in America. We'll have a race tonight. 1 race guaranteed depending on how you guys take it and how many are here racing. We might have a second race to follow. This is an idea hopefully to go ahead and boost the engagement of certain drivers from the Area Cup Series into NR because we got the playoffs coming on. We want everybody to be viewing in for those final stretches of races. But here at Circuit of America, it is a different layout. This is what, if I'm not mistaken, it's called the West layout, where we're not going top of the key in turn 11. We're cutting back into turn 12. They still call that area turn 12. 13, 14, all the way to turn 20. Pretty much stays the same from, I believe it's about 6, 6A, and then the cut over. You avoid 7, 8, 9, 10. all the way to the top of turn 11. That's where it's going to be interesting because we did this layout way back in, I believe, January for NR Night in America. It was pretty good. It wasn't bad at all. The racing was solid. We saw in person how great the racing was as well. The question now is going to be, how does it translate from the Area Cup Series, guys? And Hunter, you mentioned certain drivers not talking, like complaining and liking the car. I feel like every week the car is not perfect. Every week the setup's not perfect. Every week the track isn't perfect with the car track combo. But what's great about this is everyone is going to be running with the same situation, right? If your car is too tight, there's a good chance everyone else's car is too tight, unless you play with the steering ratio or it's the setup that you have behind the scenes with your wheel and paddles and just everything in between. With that being said, the only time we have not heard anything on the likes of drivers about how the cars are running have been at super speedways. So who prevails? Because I remember we went to Wilkesboro and most drivers talked about how poorly Wilkesboro was. I think, well, who was it? Peyton Howell that loved the car track combo? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know if you were going to continue. Yes. Peyton Howell enjoyed it pretty much to a T. He wound up winning that race. The thing that's different about this is that it's a road course race, and usually in area road course races, there are no yellows. There's minimal mistakes. Talked with Bailey Turner about it. He said that for this track specifically, there's no lateral grip. You have to be tidy throughout every corner, and it's really flat. So if you have one mess up, it's going to mess up your whole run. And especially if you get caught up in a wreck. If you're in a wreck, pretty much pack it up, get ready for Talladega. Day might not be over, but without yellows, it's hard to make up track position. So you got to be on your toes and got to make sure to not go off course or get caught up in any shenanigans.
I want a hypothetical here. What if we have the big one? What if we have the big one and it's in between the cutover from around turn 6A to what would then be turn 12? Is there a way where area officials say, okay, then we have to throw the yellow because it is that big of an incident?
I don't think they would put the yellow out entirely. I think that's a rule where specifically road courses there are no yellows, no matter how many cars.
Okay, no matter how many cars.
Correct.
Okay.
Unless the session has a glitch, in which that's happened before, quite a few years past, then there would be a different lobby setup for that.
Okay. So just because there was some clarification I needed for some people that were hanging out the Discord, they're like, so what happens if there is a big wreck? We'll keep all that in mind. So yeah, don't want to go ahead and make a mistake. Strategy. Has anybody really spoken on that? Do we need to bring a driver in possibly to hear what the strategy could be? Because there's a good chance, obviously, they're not going to be able to go the rest of the way without having to come to pit road at least once, maybe more, depending on what that call is. Who should we bring in that you think knows the best about strategy?
Go ahead with Jake Nichols. He seems like he knows what he's talking about 100% of the time, and he was the only winner here back in Season 2. So yeah, let's go talk to Jake Nichols.
Nichols, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're curious. Strategy, what is it like? We're kind of going in unknown. The brand new car track combo 4 area, but, you know, this combo has been around because of the official races that happened back in March. What is it like? What are you thinking about heading in? 1 stop, 2 stop? Is anyone going to try anything crazy if there's an incident?
I'm assuming it's just 1 stop. I think we can go pretty far on fuel, but I would assume most of us are just going to get to go no tires and just try to get as much fuel in as we can to make it to the checkered, and that's it, to save time. But you know, last time we raced here in the league, it was a while ago in a different section, obviously, of the track that's gone now. But I went to victory lane in that race, so hopefully we can do the same tonight. But I don't know. Our pace is good, but I'm hoping it's just consistent. There's definitely a car out here that's way faster than us right now, but
really,
as long as we stay consistent, yeah, as long as we stay consistent though. The big motive for the night is team points. We have 3 of us that are honestly in the top 4 in terms of speed pretty much most of the time here at road courses, so hopefully I don't screw it up like Watkins Glen where I almost wrecked out of turn 1 lap 1, but either way, we're just gonna send it and hope we can stay on track and maybe get for sure a podium, that'd be great, but obviously contend for a win as well.
Is there any treacherous part of this racetrack that you can kind of define for us?
Honestly, it's more of just the spots that are really tight on like yields, like slowdowns, where if you go a little too far off track, like the second to last turn, the left-hander where like the Waterberg sign is, it is very tedious with getting a slowdown versus not. So you're trying to get every inch you can, but at the same time, you know, if you push it a little bit too extra, and same with the new chicane that's over there, that's kind of different from the real life spot, the new spot, the double left in real life, but on here we kind of have a little skinny chicane, but that's also very tight in regards to that. So you're going to see guys push the limit maybe too much. I'll be curious to see how the field goes through the S's section, since we have those, I guess they're not turtles, but
what do we call it, sausage? Well, no, we call it sausage curbs here. No, we call it turtles here. I think we do call it turtles, right?
I don't know, they're kind of weird, like just triangles, so I don't know, but either way, those the weird triangles are, yeah, the weird triangles are going to be interesting with having 30 some cars together the first time through. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a one or two jump them and catch some air, so hopefully everyone makes it through clean, but don't be surprised if there's some carnage there the first time.
All right, good to know. Thank you for all the updates. What do you want to say to the viewers back at home? Oh, hold on, one last thing. Is there a fuel range that we can keep an eye out for lap-wise? Like when you guys are going to come in and out of pit road?
I don't know. You might see guys pit early just to get out of traffic, so you could see close to like 8 laps into the race, but you could also see like 8 to go to 10 to go range where we just push the limit all the way to the very end. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what people think, you know, with how big this track is. I mean, it's a minute 30 some lap time, so it's pretty long, so you could see some strat play with that, with pitting early versus late, but I don't know. I think we're going to figure it out as we go in the 73 car.
All right, good to know. Well, that's a great update there. For everyone watching back at home, want to say hello and welcome as you're watching the Area Cup Series. Just heard from Jake Nichols as he gets ready to go green flag racing. Qualifying currently going underway. It's a 10-minute qualifying effort as these drivers have had the opportunity to go out multiple times. Hunter Sleppy, any word on who you think will see victory lane?
Oh, good chance it could be Jake Nichols. I like Travis Fechner's chances as well. Usually runs well on the road courses. Going back a few weeks ago, the last road course we had was Watkins Glen. Dylan Ault was the guy to beat, and that one dominated, but it was really going to come down to qualifying. Whoever's inside that front row, maybe the second row, very tough to pass. Jake Nichols won here from second back in season 2, but really it's going to be from that front row. So whoever's the pole sitter, maybe second place, possibly second row. Whoever's inside that first 4 really has a good shot at winning.
This 42-lap race on a 2.3-mile track in Austin, Texas. It's going to be fun to watch. So for me, I don't know who actually to pick. I still need a little bit of time. I kind of want to use the cheat sheet of the lap times. Didn't you mention Brandon Bowie earlier about being on the cut?
Yep.
Oh, man. Oh, do we say Brandon Bowie? Do we say Brandon Bowie? Why not? Let's go Brandon Bowie. That's such an overly bold take. That's me expecting wild things from Alt, Noel, Curran, excuse me, and all those drivers that will be ahead of him. I'm going to go Brandon Bowie just because I know we're not going to have any cautions. I know we didn't have any cautions for Watkins Glen, but this one, especially this one with how tight and narrow 6A is to turn 12, I'm going to put Brandon Bowie. He's currently 7th right now. James Scully goes top of the board. We don't know what will happen. We don't know how spread out they're going to be, not understanding what the fuel range will be as well. It's going to be something to watch nonetheless. For the viewers watching back at home, we say welcome on in as we get ready to go green. Central Mobile Homes, they're something you need to see. Looking for a small or large home and used shed or a Triple Crown trailer? Look no further than Central Mobile Homes. They've been proudly serving Florida customers for 29 years with a plethora of small and large home floor plans, shed designs, and Triple Crown trailers. Available in LaBelle with Okeechobee, Clewiston, and Sebring. Head over to CentralMobileHomesInc.com to get started today as drivers continue to work their way around the speedway. It's going to be one fun race. I mean, 42 laps. You really got kind of just have to be on your toes at the end of the whole session with how it all could work on. Now, let's see if we can interview some more drivers. Just under 4 minutes remaining here in the single car qualifying effort. Seth Knoll, he's on the speedway as well. Who should we interview? I know I mentioned Brandon Bowie. We interview Knoll again. We've been having trouble with Knoll's microphone, at least as of recent. Left side of your screen, you can see where everyone has gone ahead and qualified. What do you think?
Interview someone who's on the flirting with that cutoff. Go Josh Cottle.
Let's go to Josh Cottle. That'd be a great idea. We'll bring him in from the Lucky Duck side. Is Cottle in any of the chats?
Looking through, I don't see him in any.
I know, and that's the second time we've been trying to get him. And he was not in any of the chats, so we'll hold off on him. Do we go Adam Cabot?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's bring him in. Cabot, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. Gotcha.
What's your opinion here on COTA? What's your opinion on the session? What's your opinion on everything area leading into this event?
Wow, that's everything. It's a lot. I love the track. I wish they updated it to the NASCAR spec, but I mean, it's only slightly different. It's a lot of fun to drive. I wish I was a little bit quicker. I definitely messed up my qualifying lap a little bit. I feel like I should have been probably in the mid 137s, but even then, you know, maybe that would have gave me 5 spots. It's absolutely unbelievable the times that Dylan's running. The 136 flat is genuinely hard to comprehend. Yeah, for me, my goal tonight is just to kind of keep my head on my shoulders and not try to get too much. You know, I feel like I'm a pretty good driver on road courses, but this league is just, I feel like elite at road courses. Like, there's a lot of really fast guys. You know, the same stuff everyone always says, just keep all 4 wheels in the track. And just try to have a clean night. I want to go into Talladega next week locked in on points. That's the goal. And I feel like if I just have a solid night tonight, we should be able to accomplish that.
Indeed, it's going to be really, really exciting to see how that all comes into play. Checking, looking, wondering on how things are going for some of the competitors. A smaller field in this event compared to others that pass. Is that because this is a road course, you think?
It's got to be. Yeah, I mean, this for this league, that's a pretty small turnout, which, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing, right? Because it's less points to lose if something goes really horribly wrong, but it's also less points to gain if you have a good night. So, yeah, a little surprised to see that low of a field. I mean, still 30 cars is pretty decent, but yeah, just really hoping to survive turn 1, lap 1. I'm sure that will be exciting to say the least, but just hoping that we can get through that. And then, like I said, I feel like if I just keep my head on my shoulders, should be able to have a good night.
All right, good to know. Good luck here before we go into our warm-up session. 32 drivers. I think that's what is currently on the entry list. I could be wrong as some continue to try to file on in. Adam Cabot was 609. Great to hear from him. Hunter, well, I don't think there's anybody on track anymore.
No? No one else?
No one else.
Oh, God. All right. So, yeah, it looks like could be a Dylan Alt special again, or James Scioli was the most recent winner of the last area points race back at Kansas for the Pro Series. Usually runs well on road courses and anything that's got turns in it, so can't really count him out. Seth Knoll, Jake Nichols inside those first 4 positions. It's going to be a fun show to watch.
Indeed. So we'll get ready to fire them all off. Once again, NR Night in America will follow the Area Cup Series after this event at Circuit of the Americas. And then in 2 weeks' time, the season finale at Talladega Super Speedway. Let's give you a schedule update. We'll be live with NR Night in America next Monday. So don't forget it, Monday night special. We will be live. And then to follow, we'll not be streaming that Tuesday. We'll be heading up to Wisconsin for some more action on that front ahead of what looks to be a doubleheader once again for the Appalachian Sucker Punch ASA Stars National Tour. Race in Madison on Friday, and then Slinger will be the following on Saturday. Peyton Howe, John Hall, Dylan Alt. That is the top 3 currently working their way around the speedway for warm-up. And we'll get ready to set our sights on what is ahead. Viewers in the chat below, I know a lot of you are going to be hanging out with NR Night in America at the conclusion of this race. Car track combos, what do you want to hear? Originally I said next gen Daytona. Do you want Next Gen Daytona? Do you not want Next Gen Daytona? Do you want to have racing after NR Night in America? Drop a like on the stream with the Area Cup Series. That could give us a third race. We're only going to get it if you drop a like, so keep that all in mind. Hit us with some car track combos. We're going to hit you with some questions. Let's see. Caution-free race. We know that. I want you guys to be the strategists so far. How many pit stops do you think the driver is going to need? No, I think it's already guaranteed you got to do a one stop. So let's go ahead and pull that back. Do we see a last lap pass for the win? Hunter, has that happened on a road course?
I don't think it's ever happened on a road course unless the leader has some sort of mechanical issue with their software, or if they get taken out by a lap car. Chances are it's probably not going to happen.
All right. Let's see if the viewers go ahead and agree with that. 67% say no. They think this is going to come down to what has to offer the first 41 laps, not with that final lap. We asked that question because we went to Circuit of the Americas, and it was good. Like, really, really good. So, something all to just watch and see. We do have a YouTube short most likely coming out this week from a race that I called in person at Owasso Speedway. It's a Big O Classic. Some drivers that have raced in the Jag Series All-Stars Tour, racing area, racing NR Night in America, Keegan Sabilo, Barrett Polimis. We can't wait to hopefully see Polimis back racing with us in the near future. But nonetheless, we're looking at that live chat, and most people are saying Daytona after this. Okay, keep it all in mind. Those likes are up. We know what we're doing because we are excited to continue the night rolling, because no more streams for the rest of the week until that YouTube short that'll be uploaded later this week. Hal, Hall, Alt, Knoll, Cabot, Nichols, Miller. You got Weishart, Pierce, Beckner back there as well, as they make their way around the racetrack ahead of the impending start of this race. Less than 2 minutes remaining. What are some of the penalties for this event, Hunter?
Get through, there's still a good bit of guys that are in red, and then dark red, which dark red, that's second tier below pink, which pink, you're done for the season. Dark red, you're flirting with disaster on being done for the season. Still a few guys. Tanner Bethea, who I'm told he's here. Blaze McKinney also here, and Kenny Brady not here. I think his suspension is up, but I don't think he's coming back, at least to the Cup side of things.
So what happened there? I hate to cut you off, but I'm really curious. What happened with the Kenny Brady Area Cup Series? I started hearing about it in my Discord as well as the area Discord.
Yeah, so he essentially made a lot of people upset with his driving style, and really it's what occurred on the last lap. I think he took out, I'm not sure if it was David Weishart or someone else, but it was right around the top 10. They were about to have a good finish. I can't remember the driver, but they were close in points, and they couldn't afford to have a bad run. And Kenny Brady kind of sent it in on the last corner, took him out, and he finished in a bad spot. I got to go double check who that was, but that was just the icing on top, because he created a couple incidents earlier in that night, got incident points for it, and yeah, not too many people were happy with him after that. I'm trying to look at who that was. It might have been Hayden Swank or Tyler. No, it was Tyler Nichols. I think it was Tyler Nichols who had that run-in with Kenny Brady. But yeah, he just essentially made a lot of people upset with the way he drove at Martinsville, and he got 8 incident points, and in the area score system, 6 to 8 incident points on the season. Probation and suspension for 1 week, so he's on probation for the rest of the season in any series. And then he was suspended last week, but he is not here tonight. Just a few more guys with some EOLs, quite a bit. Bryce Senesac, Nick Silver, no, he's not here. Ryan Swan is here. He's got to do a drive-through.
He needs to be here. We got Rick's Hot Sauce on the left side of our screen for a reason. Come on.
Indeed. Brad Slaughter, Jeremy Miller, Patrick Moose, Kwame Scott, Ed Shear, Dwayne Culberson. They all have EOLs. Seth Berger's got a drive-through. Same with Sam Brochu, but I don't think Brochu is here. And Tyler Nichols has a EOL, along with Bondurant, Max Service, and Hayden Swank.
All right, good to know. So these drivers have lined up on the grid. That is towards the back half of what will be turn 12. Are we going to go one around, or are we going to go green this time by?
Question. I think this track's long enough to where we can go green this time.
You know what that means? It's time to go ahead and hear your starting lineup. For everybody watching back at home for the Area Cup Series, Central Mobile Homes being brought to you part by IDK. Get ready, because we get to see the rows as they go down on the bottom of your screen. Row number 1, Dylan Hall, James Scioli, they will lead us to green. Row number 2, Seth Nolan, Jake Nichols will line up just behind in row 2. John Hall, Connor Horn will be back in row number 3, the 03 and the 67 toe-to-toe. Michael Curran. Is it Curran? Because some have said Curran. I've said Curran. I've said Curran.
It is Curhan.
Curhan. You'd expect me to know that by now. Frankie Barroso will be just next to him with Curran and others. Brandon Bowie, David Weishart. That is row number 5. Row 6, Travis Beckner and Reese Schaefer line up on the grid. Row 7, Adam Cabot and Peyton Howland join in. Row 8, Patrick Moose and Jeremy Miller are slotted to head to the rear. Hayden Swank and Jonathan Evans will join them as well. That would have been row number 9. Max Service and Justin Bondurant will be in row 10. What was to the rear they go. Brett Punkari and Bailey Turner, with row 12 being Bryce Senesac and Garrett Grant. Row 13, Ben Pierce and Tyler Nichols. Nichols to the rear. Josh Connell and Tanner Betha will move up a couple rows as they stand on officially row 14. Blaze McKinney and Seth Berger hold on to the 15th row. Row 16, and Robertson and Ryan Swan. That makes up the 32 drivers on the grid. We do have lights on top of the pace car, which means we will go around just one more time. Once again, this is the newly reconfigured update of Circuit of the Americas, not the one with the top of the key of turn 11. They cut off in or around turn 6, worked their way into what would then be turn 7 and cut into turn number 12. And we'll continue to call this a 20-turn racetrack, kind of like how Sonoma goes from 3A to 6A and continues their way through the twists and turns of the S's. Going to always a fun sight to see, whether it was the full circuit or now this 2.3-mile track. It is a 42-lap race where they're expected to make at least one pit stop. Chevy and Toyota make up the entire top 20 left side of your screen. You'll see how they all roll out. We know the lack of Fords have been noticeable, but at the end of the day, Chevy and Toyota Power have made the way. You have to go to Josh Connell in 27th for the nearest Ford to be on screen. The one to go will be Display. They line their way up top of the hill into turn 1 before the nice hairpin turn. And everybody really just sits and braces for the wildness to then ensue. The Hammerhead Toyota with that Toyota Camry. James Scioli, very well visible, and his JWR race cars machine. Solar Flare has been onto a hot start just before the playoffs get going in 2 weeks' time with the checkered flag waving at Talladega Superspeedway. Field continues to pilot its way downhill. That's into turns 2, into turn 3. That's where the S's go ahead and meet. To turn 5, to turn 6, and then the cut through, the shortcut, before they make their way into turn 12. And usually they would continue that roll of the throttle, which would then be turn 7, turn 8, before the downhill of turn 10. The shortcut ensues, and they're back on what would then at one point be the back straightaway to line up 2x2. Once again, what car track combos do you want to see at the conclusion of this area race? NR Night in America will follow. For the fans watching back at home, sit back and relax because we're ready to go back. Green flag racing with the Area Cup Series for the start of the feature event at Circuit of the Americas. From turn 15 to the carousel of 16, 17, 18. We get ready to ride. COTA has put on nothing but great races. And NR Night in America has been a part of the Area Cup Series before. And is now back here in 2025. Dylan Alden, 47. He's tucked in on the bottom. James Scioli in 7 on the outside lane. Chevy and Toyota will lead us off turn 19 and into turn 20. What a season it has been, and soon a regular season to follow in 2 weeks' time. Let's light the fuse from Circuit of the Americas. Dylan All too hard into turn 1. James Scioli off as well. The drivers that led us to green in trouble early. And that's John Hall, the Homestead winner. Quickly to the back bumper, the 47. What a rebound by Hall. And can sneak away to 6. Seth Nolan 30 holds on. Connor Horn in 4. Jake Nichols in 5th. Curhan in 6. And how far did Scioli fall? Back to the 26th position. Ryan Swan getting out of the way. Scioli having to deal with checkups ahead. Senesac, he's sideways. Does a full loop and pull and gets it backfired in the right direction. When Dylan Alt thought it was going to possibly be all over, got back on the loud pedal and held on to the race lead as they worked their way towards turns 13, 14, to then follow a 16, 17, and 18. To 19, the Whataburger turn, and the final corner of turn 20 has Dylan Alt leading. I mean, he absolutely dominated Watkins Glen a couple months ago. But at COTA with the next gen, it's just a completely different beast. Elevation changes in different areas of the track. Uphill, downhill areas, like you would see at Watkins Glen, don't get me wrong. But here, just a little bit different. Pit strategy will have to come in. We've seen the mistakes before on what happens if you go ahead. Maybe speed on entry, speed on exit. John Hall, P3, lost that second spot to Seth Knoll. Knoll versus Alt, that has been the tale as old this time. You expect these two to race for a championship come Charlotte later this year, but they currently sit 1-2. Hall in 3rd, Horn in 4th, Nichols in 5th. Curhan back to the 6th position, and Frankie Barroso holds on to 7th. Brendan Bowie with David Weishart, Peyton Howell, and Adam Cabot. Cabot in 11th, Turner in 12th, Schaefer in the 13th spot. Bunkari, Evans, Hayden Swankin, and you got James Scioli in that 18th spot, quickly working his way through the field. He was back in 26 at one point, but now finds himself inside the top 20. Okay, a quick scrum, a quick move. We see Sleppy, he's getting information from the Bowie Silver team. Sleppy, update early.
Yeah, Jeremy Miller not happy with Cottle. Very frustrated by that. Didn't get a chance to go into Solar Flare yet to discuss what happened with Scioli and Nichols, but it looks like everyone inside the top 4 just flat out missed the corner. Create a little bit of chaos in the back, and guys just checked up I'll have to get word on Nichols and Skyler on what happened.
Okay, good updates there. Saw Bowie and Weishart going ahead and trading position as the challenges are on. Weishart wide just ever so slightly as here comes Peyton Howell. Howell's 52 quickly to the back bumper. Adam Cabot in the 17, back in 11th. Bailey Turner back in 12th. Top two were about separated about 2 seconds and quickly got cut down to about a 1.7, nearly a 1.8. Seth Knoll making up most of his time through the shortcut, but not able to make up the time he wants through turn 12. 3 laps into this 42-lap race. Sit back, relax. Let's see what the live chat is talking about. I want to say hello to the viewers back at home. Eric W. Austin with Jason Beckner. Oh, hammered down indeed. I asked you all, we see a last lap pass for the win. 61% said, heck no, not going to happen. As 39% said, sure, why not? Who says things can't happen here with what's being streamed on the IDK Player YouTube channel? You're watching the Area Cup Series, the regular season finale, once again in 2 weeks' time. That will be at Talladega Super Speedway. Stretched out most of this field. You see a battle on the racing surface. Cabot, Weishart, that's where they sit. Nichols and Curhan, they're about 5th, 6th. I want to say half a second, so not really an impeding challenge. Schaefer is there, Punkari is there. James Scioli, who is very quick early in the race, but with a big mistake, has fallen back to that 15th position. Patrick Moose rides in the 16th spot. Seth Berger already multiple laps down from what we saw. Actually making now, yes, 2 laps down. 3 laps down is Max Service. That leaves us with 29 cars on the lead lap. There's Blaise McKinney working his way uphill. That's deeper in the field. Nearly 3 seconds the difference between Alt and Knoll. John Hall back in 3rd. Connor Horn back in 4th. And Jake Nichols thought about a peek to the inside. No diffuser on these cars. Rear diffuser, that is. Still the flat body that you know with the next gen. Nichols going wide. Curhan there in 6th. Frankie Barroso, P7. Brandon Bowie, P8. Find their way to the carousel. Then there's John Hall in 3rd. There's Connor Horn in 4th. Jake Nichols holding on to 5th. 4 laps in, and they're starting to spread on out. Really didn't get a gauge on when they'll come to pit road. We did hear from, I believe, Jake Nichols saying that some guys are going to come early just to go ahead and fill up. And we did see that at Watkins Glen with Dylan Alt coming in at a different time than other drivers. With a gap already nearly separated by 4 seconds. Hey, race fans, I'm heading down to Florida. I might go. You may go. You should go if you can work your way out to Hendry County Motorsports Park, because they are back this Saturday, June 7th. See the Top Gun sprints, the open wheel modifieds, and more. Tickets are $20 for adults, and kids ages 5 and under are free. Bring the family to the track with the family pack of 4 at $25. Come see racing at the southernmost dirt track in America, located in Clewiston, Florida, off US Highway 27. Visit HendryRacing.com for more information. Always great to give a shout out to Hendry County Motorsports Park. Matter of fact, where is that elusive number 28? There he is, Travis Beckner, running in the 26th position in the Hendry County Chevrolet. I wouldn't be surprised if he's there at the Speedway come June 7th. Just in front of him, Tyler Nichols going wide. Not too many battles on the racetrack. Perfect opportunity to get some updates as well. We're going to be hitting Hunter Sleppy all race long. The viewers, once again, you got a job to do. Car track combos. If you don't want Daytona, let us know. And if Daytona is that exciting for you all, and the voice stays together, and I can maybe get 4 hours of sleep before my very early morning flight, yes, we may have a race to follow. Do we go to Homestead Miami Speedway? Would love to go ahead and see that. Drivers working their way around the speedway. We have yet to speak to Dylan Alt, with it being a non-caution race. We do have some fun. We like to interview drivers while they're racing. Dylan Alt, John Ramos, welcome to the broadcast, race leader.
What's going on?
Oh, come on. It's a non-caution race. You're ahead by 4 seconds. You're streaming. I'm streaming, right? If I'm not mistaken, you're having fun.
Yeah.
What are you streaming on?
Yeah, I'm chilling. Twitch, Alt F4. Pretty sure it's not Alt underscore F4. I don't remember my Twitch.
Is your username really Alt F4?
Yeah.
That is creative. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, listen, you're on track. You're kicking their butt right now. What's the strategy call? Because I know at Watkins Glen, you are out in a different zip code compared to everyone else. I'm guessing tires isn't going to be a big issue. It's going to be mostly fuel.
Yeah, it's just like Watkins Glen. Just go as long as possible and then just take as little as much fuel as possible, and also no tires.
Is there any pressure from Dylan All? Excuse me, you are Dylan All. Is there any pressure from Seth Knoll? Is he beating you in certain areas of the track?
He might be more consistent than me because I'm trying to, like, I guess, push harder. So maybe he's got the long run, keep tires cool strat, and I'm kind of just, I don't know, vibing for laps.
So pushing, what is it like racing a next gen on a road course versus maybe an Xfinity stock car?
Okay, this thing is a boat compared to an Xfinity car. I love the Xfinity car, but there's a ton of power fall off in that car compared to this one. This is all just keep tires cool. There's no wear. The car does get tighter. The B car, you feel like you can be more aggressive. You just have to be very, very gentle, and that's the big difference between the two. So yeah, that's pretty much it. As I'm sliding.
Is this interview hurting you?
No, it's not. I gotta get used to it anyways. If I want to stream more, I gotta talk while I'm driving, right?
I know. Well, see, the thing is, we don't do this on ovals because cautions are allowed, but with there not being allowed cautions, it's a perfect opportunity to talk to drivers, engage more. Okay, listen, maybe too much talking because the gap is down to 3 seconds, getting close to there, and I'm not trying to go ahead.
Well, I don't mind. I don't mind. I'm doing fine right now.
Okay, well, how about this? What live chat do you want me to drag you to?
Wait, what?
What live chat do you want me to drag you to?
The Solid Rock Performance, that team chat.
All right, my man. Hey, listen, good luck the rest of the race. We may talk to you later, depending on strategy.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.
And that is Dylan All. Now Seth Knoll is down to 2 seconds. Hardest here, Seth Knoll, so we won't hear from him right now. We're going to see who else we can chime on in with. Ooh, Connor Horn. He's an e-ticket driver. We definitely need to hear from Connor Horn and see what he's going through. Horn, you're running P4. How you doing?
Doing all right. Just trying to hold off Nichols, which is a tall task. He's faster than me. Rears, it's kind of weird because the rears are what you need to save, but the fronts are what are heating up the most, so it's really a tough balancing act with both ends of the car. But I think I have a top 10 car. If Jake gets me, it is what it is. But, you know, it's a tough track. Obviously, Alt's going to dominate this one probably. But
I mean, Seth Knoll's closing in. He said the interview wasn't hurting his performance. If Jake Nichols catches up to you, I may have a nice meeting with the area officials and say, hey, don't do that again. They're interviewing guys mid-race, but do you have company behind you?
I got Jake.
Oh, there's Jake. Do we stop talking here? Oh, you know what? How about this? Take over the broadcast. Driver attacking, what do you do?
If he's attacking, I mean, you're really trying to just keep it, like, kind of not sideways, but more so planted to the apex, go a little more shallow on corner entry, stuff like that. Every time he catches me at the end of a stadium section, I just got to go shallow and can't really get the crossover to work there. And it's really been his only point of attack so far. He's really hasn't been able to get close enough in turn one. He closes in on me right after the S's through that little crossover section. And he's only getting me in the stadium section, so all I have to do there is go shallow, and I can kind of build a gap in the final sector of the track. And that's all I really have to do right now. Maybe a little more shallow in turn 1 if he gets a little bit closer. I got too shallow there because I hit the orange, but still able to keep him behind, and obviously got Curhan behind him too. But clean air is pretty important, so I got to try my hardest just to keep that clean air on the nose. I think I can compete with John Hall. It's just Jake is lighting up my bumper too much for me to really push where I need to, and I don't know how much longer I'll be able to do this, but putting him up's for me important.
You did a great job saving it, I'll tell you that.
It was close. Just got a little bit too close to the apex there. Just turned in a little early, actually. A little bit too much, but it's pretty easy to do in a corner like that.
With you being on the defensive, is it easier to defend in the next gen than under the cars?
With the way the air is, yeah, I think it's a little bit easier as he finally got there.
Yeah, if you don't need to speak to go ahead and fight, there you go. Horn underneath Nichols, toe-to-toe. I'll commentate over it too. You can be right here listening to it. So what do you do now? You're behind him.
Just kind of settle in. I don't think I'm going to be able to get him back unless he makes a mistake. Maybe do some tire strategy or just fuel strategy. It's a really kind of a short race compared to what the fuel tank is. So I think you're going to see a lot of people only taking fuel at this point, early, maybe see guys undercut. If people are stuck in dirty air, you'll see people just undercut to get out of that dirty air. I don't know if tires are going to matter because you're probably only taking one fuel, one can, so that's going to be a decision a lot of drivers have to make.
I like how you mentioned the getting out of the dirty air. Is that something you're possibly considering?
Probably. It just depends on if I get stuck behind someone. I think Jake will probably pull away from me and it won't be an issue. I'm not sure Curhan will be able to pass me as easily, and I think Bowie really caught up because of how much I battled Jake there, so it just depends on the situation. If I got some people who I think are holding me up, I'll pit early. Otherwise, I think wouldn't be surprising to just see the tank get emptied here on this run and then just take a little bit less fuel at the end.
All right, good to know. Hey, you're working at 10 laps in. This 42-lap race, we got one off. That's Seth Berger deeper in the field. Connor Horn, we're going to go ahead and drag you back. Do you like these interviews mid-race?
I could do with them. I don't know how other people feel about him, but I can manage. He didn't pass because of the interview. He's just faster. Jake is. I think he'll go and get John Hall eventually. It's just, that's how hard it is to pass. I mean, dirty air definitely matters even in slow corners like this. And that was just a product of the car, and I just got to do the same thing for Curhan now.
All right, good luck. And what do you think, the viewers? You like interviewing drivers mid-race? This is something we tried when we started doing some IMSA races in NR Night in America. When the races get strung out, maybe single file, hear what the drivers have to go ahead and say. You're kind of just get an idea of what they're talking about, what they're thinking in the middle of a run. Hunter Suppy has been going from team to team. He has been hanging out with Solid Rock, at least as of this recent. Hunter, update there.
Yeah, well, I was just updating them on what happened on the start. They didn't know that James Skyley went off on his own. He didn't get help from anyone. And I was just telling them how I did a little classic commentator's curse where I guaranteed the front four, if you're starting inside that spot, you're in a pretty good spot to win. And then the entire top four go off the track. So just updating them on that. A lot of complaining on the radio about guys being raced a certain way, especially from Jake Nichols inside the top five. And then the usual hard to pass, hard to catch guys. You make one mistake, you're in your head, and then you're trying to correct that mistake, overdrive the car. So yeah, a lot of guys just try to be mindful and just make it to where they can go in their fuel limit.
All right. Good updates there. 11 laps into this 42-lap race, you've now been watching Seth Knoll turn laps around Circuit of the Americas here in Austin, Texas. You're watching League Night in America, the Area Cup Series, in 2 weeks' time. Once again, Talladega for the regular season finale, and then the playoffs will be set. The driver inputs on the bottom of your screen. Let's go through the running order. Dylan Alt, Seth Knoll, Jake Nichols, John Hall, Connor Horn. That's the top five. Michael Curhan, Brandon Bowie, Payne Howell, David Weishart, and Adam Cabot. That make up the top 10 running positions. This is actually the biggest battle on track. Multiple drivers under a scrum. Outside the top 10, James Scioli has worked his way up to 11th. Bailey Turner, Frankie Barroso, that's 11th through 13th. Reese Schaefer, Patrick Moose, Brent Bungari. Bungari being the 16th position. Hayden Swing, Jeremy Miller, and Travis Beckner. 19th on Ford as Josh Connell runs out the top 20. Bryce Senesac, Justin Mondurant with Garrett Grant, Blaze McKinney, Tyler Nichols, and then Ed Robinson up there in the 27th spot. Ben Pierce, Seth Berger, 29th on Ford. Ryan Swan with Max Service making up the 31 car field. There's Dylan All. He's just gone off at turn 12. Seth Knoll just getting into turn 12. Back to the battle that's running from 5th, 6th, 7th, and now the pressure, the dance, that's Hal underneath Brandon Bowie, which would be for the 7th position, working lap 12 out of 42. Sweeping in, sweeping out. Bowie is there, closing to the back bumper of Pay and Howell. Oh man, he almost saw the 52 get loose. Racing his way up near the rumble strips. Lap 12 out of 42, soon to be lap 13 of 42. That will bring us to 30 laps to go, and here's another battle. John Hall, Connor Horn, Horn to the inside of Hall, the fight for 4th. Oh, Horn very deep into turn 1. Somehow gets it to stick. And we get to stay green. Shuffling, swaying, Scioli, Turner. There's Turner in 11th. Still the battle for about the 4th, the 5th position. Gurhan in 24, the highest running Lucky Duck driver. And with 30 to go, you can see Hall right to the inside of Connor Horn. Horn is there. Hall wants to try it again. Gurhan, Howell. Single file back through the carousel. And really, it's called the stadium section. There's a stadium actually behind that. The big tower. Turn 19, the Whataburger sign. .29 to go. Nichols P3, we heard from him earlier. As the brake rotors blow hot on the left front of these drivers. Weishart, Cabot, Scioli, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Shuffling back to the X's. The S's through turn 6. They'll have the cutover again before turn 12. And let's look at the lap for lap here. So this is Seth Knoll. And trying to go ahead and close in to Dylan All. Lap 10, he got to a 2-8, and then finally Dylan All started to pull that ring together. A little bit quicker this lap than times past. All has led all of the laps so far here at Circuit of the Americas. Sweeping one way, sweeps the other. And back to the line, I think it's going to be no more than maybe a 3.75. The difference, no, they call it 3.39 to a 3.76. So wow, a huge jump in difference from one lap to the next. Dylan All on pace to continue to pull away. Back to Connor Horn up front. It's nice and calm. Horn still has to deal with the impending traffic of Hall, and maybe even Curhan. as they run 5th, 6th, and 7th behind him. David Weishart, James Scioli. Weishart in 8th, Scioli in 9th. Shuffling, swing. Jumping in, jumping out. And Scioli doing what he can to go in and close into Weishart, who is sitting just in front of him. Behind there's Adam Cabot. Left side of your screen, you see the drivers that are running on track. Only driver currently out of the race, that is Ryan Swan. We saw Max Service at one point be off. He's still on the racing surface. Swan, the first retiree of the race, and then Seth Berger, we saw him off a little bit earlier in the race. Berger is very, very deep in the field, currently sitting on pit road. John Hall P5, Company and Payne Howell. Out of the inside, thought of the move. Rider on the brakes, trying something different. "26 laps to go from Circuit of the Americas." Howell just to the back corner. Seth Knoll gets down to a 3-2. I think he's actually beating Dylan Alt through the shortcut still. I mean, that is the only way I can see Alt losing time to Seth Knoll. Alt has him beat everywhere else. I mean, turn 1, turn 2, 3, 4. That shortcut has kept Seth Knoll at least within somewhat of a hopeful difference and holding on to the current lead of Dylan Alt. 42 lap race, has 27, nearly 26 laps to go. Something to go ahead and keep in mind, they still have to come to pit road to top off in service. Elite Entertainment adds some life to the party this spring with Elite Entertainment, located in Bowling Springs, South Carolina. Elite Entertainment provides high-quality band production to entertain at any local location, including karaoke, singo, which is music bingo, and more. Visit their link tree at Elite Entertainment LLC for all contact information. Connor Horn coming into view. Hunter Schleppe was hanging out with the Berg drivers. Hunter, what do you got?
A lot of guys complaining about the rear tires sliding more as the run goes on. My cat is trying to eat the microphone. Don't do that. There's a lot of guys that are complaining about rear tire grip and just lack of respect on the racetrack over. Okay, don't put your tail on. Sorry, cat is interrupting me, but coming up on pit stop shortly, pretty much.
All right. Cool, cool indeed. Hunter, I believe you're still here, correct? Now, we did go ahead and lose him just for the moment, as he did mention that pit stops are ahead. Scioli in 8th, Weishart in 9th, Cabot in the 10th position. Alt, Knoll, Nichols, Horn, Hall. That rounds out the top 5. Peyton Howell and Michael Curran. 6 and 7, Scioli with Weishart and Cabot still making up that top 10. So the race continues on. Dylan Alt has led every single lap. We have not interviewed Peyton Howell. We'd like to hear what he has to say as we get ready to commence with those green flag pit stops. Howell on the speedway in 6th and not in any of the VCs. So no Payne Howell, excuse me, for now. Let's go to John Hall. Hall, John Ramos, get a copy.
Yes, sir.
It's been a little while since I've spoken here. Are you okay with an interview mid-race?
Yeah. Yeah, let's go.
All right, running P5, you're kind of in the thick of the biggest battle on the speedway. What is kind of going through your mind as a racer, right? Everyone's mostly spread out. You got a driver blinking in front of you. Green flag pit stops coming up. Is there a strategy?
Get by Connor and don't miss my pit box.
All right, don't miss your pit box.
Sorry.
You guys are talking about that right rear tire.
Right rear, yeah, it's both the rear tires are angry. The front tires are also angry. This thing's driving terrible. And I just missed this corner. I should probably shut my mouth for a second. Hold on.
Well, if you need to stop talking to go ahead and race, you can do whatever you need to do.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm better than Connor right now. I just got to slow down in the middle of this section down there, and that let Jake get by, and that gave Connor a shot at me and used me up a little bit, so we're going to turn the favor if I get back there. But yeah, it's just, there's no real strategy here. It's just optimize your pit entry as best you can.
Well, man, you're doing a pretty good job at that, no? At least with holding these drivers off.
Yeah, for right now, we're going to see how this goes the rest of this stint here. We're going to pit a couple laps, so we'll see how it goes.
Two tires or just gas?
Lock in here. Just gas, no tires.
Oh, you got company.
Yeah.
You got a driver
in here.
We'll let you go. You definitely look like you need to go ahead and lock in.
Appreciate it.
Oh, man. And we'll go ahead and drag back that of John Hall. So he'll go to his chat. He'll go ahead and lock in and do what he needs to do as he continues around the speedway. Company behind, and look who's on the move. James Scioli from 26th to 8th after starting on the front row. Has found his way towards the front, can find his way around Curhan, Howell, Hall, and then even that of Adam Cabot. Scioli to Curhan. Curhan, Howell, that's 6th and 7th. The question now is, what does this 7 machine do? Coming to pit road comes John Hall. Hall is in. That allows Scioli to come up to the 7th position. Is anybody else coming with Hall? No, we don't see anyone inside the top 5 make that hard left onto pit road. So the first one to bite. As he said, it'll be gas and go. Everyone else probably, most likely, doing the same exact strategy. Here's Seth Knoll nearly 6 seconds back to Dylan Hall. Nichols nearly 15 seconds back. Connor Horn back and forth. Bay and Howell in the 5th position. Nose to tail. So undercut, overcut, it could play a strategy. It could play a difference depending on who makes a mistake on entry and even on exit. Scioli under Curhan. He's up to 6th. Bay and Howell in front of him. Connor Horn as well. And there's Seth Knoll out in his own zip code. And with the speed that we've seen out of James Scioli, let's go see action before say anything to go ahead and back it up. He just ran a 1:37.815. Not faster than Knoll, who's mostly in clean air, and not faster than Alt, who's mostly in clean air. I wouldn't be surprised if that mistake didn't happen in turn 1, lap 1. You can see James Scioli battling or somewhat in the ballpark range of the top 3. 21 to go. Here from Circuit of the Americas. Big lock up out of the 7. Her hand underneath. Oh, almost got to him. Slides one way, slides the other. Seth Knoll about 6 seconds back to that of Dylan Hall. As the closest battle on track from what we can see. Currently between 5th and 6th. So pit road is open. Drivers still coming on in. We saw Peyton Howell also come in. That with John Hall. Hall coming out behind the Peyton Howell driver. Brandon Bowie. All the way back in the 14th position. Seth Knoll is not in. Nichols is not in. Connor Horn, does he make the hard left? No, he doesn't. None from Scioli and Curran. Weishart in 7th, Cabot in 8th. Working their way around the speedway. Bailey Turner in 10th. Reese Schaefer, John Hall. Can he get to Peyton Howell? No, not so much. A second in between the Toyota and Chevrolet. 7 seconds of difference for the race leader with 21 laps to go from Circuit of the Americas. And make sure you guys check out the High Banks podcast. Just two blue-collar guys, Nick and Alex, talking about NASCAR and more. New episodes with area drivers coming soon, available on Spotify. And don't forget to check out the Area iRacing on Twitch. Race fans, be sure to subscribe to Area iRacing on the Twitch channel to catch the Area Truck Series on Tuesdays and the Area Pro Series on Thursdays this season. Don't forget it, because you can use custom Area iRacing emotes in the chat while earning double points as a subscriber to redeem for free merchandise. Start today at just $5 a month at twitch.tv/Area iRacing. It's the Dylan Alt show up front, no doubt about it. Seth Knoll in 2nd, Nichols in 3rd, and Connor Horn hanging out in the 4th position. Sluppy went to go get information there on Solar Flare. Hunter, what do you got?
Checking in with pit stops. They're coming up pretty soon. Only a handful of guys have made pit stops yet. Really not much you can do when you're losing track position or losing seconds and trying to gain track position. So it's all about just lowering the mistakes on pit road so you don't lose track position and then lose your top 5 or top 10.
All right, stick with us here for just a little bit, because we've been interviewing drivers, and once they get into a scrum, they usually don't want us to go ahead and speak. Spoke to some of these guys to kind of hear what they've had to say. What have you seen from an analysis side? Could we see drivers maybe net gaining? Could we see mistakes from others? I mean, I haven't seen much of Seth Knoll to say he's going to go after Dylan Hall.
Not really much net gaining at all. Unless there's mistakes made by other drivers on the racetrack. This is essentially a track where you don't want to lose any sort of grip or momentum whatsoever. If you mess up one corner, it's going to throw off your next set of corners and then your whole lap. So just about rhythm, keeping that rhythm. We're already halfway through. We're going to have to keep the same rhythm. Mentioned it again, Bailey Turner kind of talked about it, saying there's no, like, because of how flat this track is, there's really not much banking to kind of help you out. If you're going into a runoff area, you're gonna have to prevent yourself from over driving or over braking or even under braking and colliding into the car. But we'll have to see how these pit stops might shake up the running.
All right. 19 laps to go. Pit stops coming in. Hunter Sluppy, great updates there. Hopefully his cat is... Hunter, is your cat still on your desk?
No, so the cat had a whole episode where he wanted to be on my table and then bother me and then mess with the microphone, all in the span of 6 minutes, but he's out.
Wow. All right. Hunter giving us great information there. I want to say thank you to everyone that's watching back at home in that live chat as the sun ducks behind the clouds. I want to say hello and thank you to Eric W., Cito Brown, Mikey hanging out with us, Jason Beckner. I wouldn't be surprised. Mr. Jason Beckner is going for the Beckner currently in this field. Larry hanging out with us as well as he just got off of work. Once again, we will have at least one race of NR Night in America following this one, and then it's time for me to pack up and go to the next location. Every single week, it's packing up and going to a new location. If you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and ask, because this is the Area Cup Series live on the IDK Player YouTube channel. 19 laps to go. If you have any questions for drivers, feel free to say it down in the live chat below. For the ones that have been keeping up with all my in-person broadcasting on Racing America, Track TV, I want to say thank you so much for tuning on in. We know so many of you checked out Newport, Owasso at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. A lot of you went to Hickory as well. We did have 4 events in 1 week. And for the ones that said hello to me at Nashville Super Speedway, whether it was on the grid or behind in the midway or in the concourse area, thank you so much for coming up. Including for the ones at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Met so many of you guys there. 17 laps to go as they work their way back across the line. Jake Nichols, Seth Knoll, that sits third and second, trying to chase the Dylan Alt Chevrolet as Alt looks for yet another win in 2025. To sweep the road courses of the regular season. I mean, absolute domination it was at Watkins Glen. He got it done at New Hampshire as well. A big-time win impending here soon if he doesn't make any mistakes and keeps that car pointing in the right direction, coming in and out of pit road. An nearly a 7-second advantage with 18 to go is something to not strive away from. Here's the battle for fourth. Connor Horn, James Scioli. I mean, we've been watching this for quite some time. It hasn't changed till turn 12. Scioli under Horn. Horn on the throttle, just a little quicker than Scioli's 7. Switchback move, can it work? Not going to happen. We'll just pulled alongside him. 17 laps to go when they get back to the line this time by. Quickly in, quickly out, turn 19. Has not really been able to fully pull away. That has Connor Horn. Scioli, another long straightaway, this time to the inside of the 67. And actually, the pole is very close on having a last lap pass. Brake rotors glowing hot on the left sides. And with 17 laps to go, this is what you have on the speedway. Kerhan in 6. Rolling around the speedway. Cabot back in the 8th position. Payne Howell, Frankie Barroso, John Hall, and Brandon Bowie. Brett Punkari, P13. This is actually deeper in the field. Is that Hayden Swank? It is. This should be a battle for position. Both drivers rolling around the speedway, or should we say the road course in this case. Getting ready to roll. Once again, following this, we'll be heading to Daytona International Speedway. A quick 30-lap race for NR Night in America before we go ahead and call things a night. 16 to go. Seth Nolan's yet to come to pit road. Same with Dylan Alt. Both will have to get there at some point. Dylan Alt back to the carousel. Rolling one way, rolls the other. There's Jake Nichols, Connor Horn. And Jake Nichols holds on in P3 as he tries to close in on the drivers in front of them. There's Connor Horn. David Weishart with Adam Cabot just behind him. 15 laps to go. And once again, a very big thanks to everyone that's been hanging out with us here with the Area Cup Series live on the IDK Player YouTube channel. It has been one heck of an evening, but it has also been the evening of Dylan Alt, who's been on a heck of a roll. Number 1 at New Hampshire, 1 at Watkins Glen, 2 wins on the season. No one has won more than 2 races. Seth Knoll ties him with the most wins this year after Seth Knoll won at Chicagoland and Martinsville. Jake Matheson getting a win at Kansas, round 11 at COTA. And the top 2 drivers that have won the most this year currently sit 1-2 on the track. They said pit stops are soon, but that was about 10 laps to go. Does he come in this time? No, he doesn't. All elects to stay out. Hunter Sleppy, I'm surprised they have yet to come to pit road.
Yeah, I'm going through the channels right now. They're saying that tire wear is not that big a deal. So they're essentially just running it dry until they can do about half a tank or some even just a full tank. But tire wear, not that big a deal. They're just running it out with fumes.
So that means they could be pitting with 8 to go?
If they can stretch it that far, yeah, I don't think anyone's saving fuel, but it's just not that big a deal. Or tire wear's not that big a deal, so they can stretch it out for fuel.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, that's road course racing in a nutshell.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised this top 2 has pulled away the way they have done it. I mean, I know at one point Seth Knoll was with him, but Jake Nichols back to 16 seconds, Scioli back at 23. Does that surprise you at all?
Yes and no. It surprises me that they're that far back as far as seconds on the track, but it does not surprise me that they're still inside the top 4, top 5. But 4th on back, you have a bad pit stop at your speed, could change quite a bit. Scioli, Horn, Curran, say even David Weishart, because I feel like those guys are 30, 40 seconds back. They can do like half a tank, maybe a little less than that, try to make up some track position, make up some seconds, because there's no other way you can do it. And if tire wear is not that big a deal, putting on new tires definitely isn't going to help.
Indeed. All right, stuff to note. So we continue racing on. 13 laps to go. You're watching Senesac in front of the 47 of Dylan Alt. There's Seth Nolan second. There's James Scioli with Nichols. That was 3rd and 4th. Connor Horn back in 5th, and Michael Curhan in the 6th position. They'll work their way to 12 laps to go this time by. As they have yet to pit, that being the top 2. Dylan Alt, we may have to save that interview for later. Has not moved. The question now will be, if you come to pit road, do you make a mistake? And the winning of the race is going to come down to mistakes on and off pit road. And that's really what's going to come down to. If the top 2 is going to come down to the same strategy, it has to be that way, and Dylan Alt is in. No, he is not. Where did Dylan Alt go? He's off the track. Dylan Alt is off the racetrack, has lost internet, and just like that, Seth Knoll will take the race lead. What was a textbook day, now gone completely wrong. I could have sworn last time we viewed him, he was heading uphill to turn 1. And the telemetry had him grayed out, which usually means he's either come to pit road or he has exited the facility. They still have him now scored in the 7th position. That's how big of a lead he had. Now up to 8th. Seth Knoll takes the race lead and is on track to become the winningest driver in 2025. My goodness, and a huge lockup to the left front. A dominant day with an unfortunate ending. Knoll's the leader. Jake Nichols in second. James Scioli in third. It's a solar flare 1, 2, 3 once again. And Knoll still has to pit.
Issue for Dylan Alt. He's done for the day.
Unbelievable. Was it internet?
Trying to confirm if it was internet or if it was something with the PC. Looking through, I don't know if it, well, he's still in the Discord, but I don't know if his actual profile's still there. I'll have to double check.
If he's, well, we can actually figure that out right now. You ready? Let's go ahead and figure this out live. Dylan Alt, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so you didn't fully lag out, so your internet didn't go out. Did it just black screen?
No, just frozen. That's really it.
Is it frozen right now?
No. I wonder if I actually got tires and fuel. I do. Wait a second. Because I didn't have to tow. I'm in 19th. Hey, I could still probably finish like 10th. Wait, I have fuel. I don't know what the hell happened. It just, everything froze.
Wow.
I'm not lapped. I'm in 19th.
Hey, you had such a big lead. You're still in the lead lap.
Yeah, I don't, maybe, I have no idea.
In the most textbook way, we still have drama. I mean, you said you could possibly go up there and get a top 10, but this has got to be feeling weird.
Yeah, do you know how much time people that pitted lost?
Yeah, I can tell you who's provisional, I'm pretty sure.
Because no way people are, yeah, no, I don't think I can win the race. Probably finish like top 10 or something.
So
We'll
currently,
see test pits.
Adam Cabot just pit recently. His stint has been about 3 laps. And Cabot's in 10th.
Okay, and yeah, no way I'm winning this race.
Alright, very unfortunate there for yourself. And we'll have to see you at Talladega.
Yeah, that race is going to be fun.
It will be. What do you want to say to these viewers that have watched you lead most of this race?
Come watch my stream. I would like a follow for this terrible race. Oh my god. I know I've been plowing this whole time. It's gonna be hard to, I don't know, salvage this one. Hopefully I don't spin out or anything.
Alright.
We'll see.
Well, we'll see, but an unfortunate ending there for Dylan Alt. He was originally out. He came back right when Hunter slept. He said that, so Hunter did not get the information wrong for the ones wondering. But, man, just a wild and weird set of circumstances that has now led to, well, now it's not the Solar Flare leader in Seth Knoll because Jake Nichols is the race leader. Seth Knoll has come to pit road. He will come off of pit road as well. And we'll get ready to continue rolling around the track. So 10 laps to go. As it currently sits, No provisional race leader. You need Horn to come in. You need Scioli to come in as well. All 33 laps still currently for the top 3. And you wonder when these two are going to pit, but right now Seth Knoll still on provisional race lead as he got out in front of David Weishart, who is now 3 seconds behind him in the 5th position. Here comes Nichols, he's in. And James Scioli, what a great comeback he has had. From dropping back to 26 at one point, he'll come in as well. Connor Horn is in. The entire top 3 work their way to pit road with 9 laps to go. Seth Knoll will quickly work his way off turn 20 to get the 8 to go signal. I'll check that 9 to go as Nichols did get to the line. Easy in, easy out for those drivers. David Weishart, 34 laps, still has to come to pit road. Jake Nichols, 8 seconds the difference between 1st and 3rd. Nine to go. Scioli P4, Payne Howell P5. And what a race for Seth Knoll. Has to feel weird for him as well. Nine remaining. Scioli in 4th. Trying to see if he can at least get back from the front row he had to start the race, as that's where it actually sat before. Weishart is in, he goes back to 7th. Seth Knoll, 8 seconds of an advantage. Racing. Well, sometimes it can be unpredictable. It can be toe-to-toe. They can be on top of you. And the next second, they can be spread out as it is currently. I believe all the drivers have found their way already in. John Hall back in 7th. Remember his big battle? Brandon Bowie into 8th as the drivers all cycle through. Adam Cabot in 9th. Right on with Bowie as he heads up to turn 1. Bunkari back in 12th. Great run for him. Now we'll seize as Bunkari, I believe, is in. Yes, he is. Oh, actually locking on multiple areas of the car. Connor Horn, Jake Nichols. Sean Hall in 7th, Brandon Bowie in 8th, Adam Cabot in 9th. Beckner, Cabot. A lot of drivers just rolling through the punches, maybe not rolling through the motions. As there's just 7 laps to go. Let's see if we can hear from Hunter Sleppy. Sleppy, John Ramos, you got a copy.
Hello.
All right, final 7 laps. What have we heard from these drivers in the final moments?
Not really much about the race, more about Sabrina Carpenter, and if she was hitchhiking on the side of the road, would you pick her up? That has been the discussion.
From which team?
All of them. Slowly going through each channel.
You know what's going to happen now? The live chat heard that, and they're going to start answering yes or no.
That should be the next, I was just thinking, that should be the next YouTube question. Just Sabrina Carpenter, yes or no?
It's been that type of race.
It's been that type of a race, yep.
All right. Well, what's your answer?
I won't air out what everyone has said or what drivers have said no. There are a few who did say no, but most of them have said yes, and I would tend to go with the majority. So, yes. Ed Robertson just straight up said yes. Well, said I wouldn't air it out, but I just mentioned Sabrina Carpenter. He just said yes, yes, yes. Anything, yes. I was like, okay, cool. So this is how this is going to go. Yeah, nothing much about the race, just guys wanted this to be done. That's about it.
Okay, and with 6 laps to go, it's about to be done. At the conclusion of this race, once again, we will have NR Night in America. Hunter, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I got a question.
All right.
I lost the question, Hunter.
Oh,
the question has gone to the wayside, and it's very unfortunate that I kind of just wasted your moment there. You know what? No, the question is back. Did you ever expect Seth Knoll to beat Dylan All today?
Not in the fashion, no. I kind of expected, so Dylan Alt won pole. He won pole for Watkins Glen and won the race, so I kind of expected it to go the way that it did at Watkins Glen. However, I did not expect a iRacing crash to happen for Dylan
So we
Alt
spoke with him on it, and we were like, the fact that he was still in the Discord showed that his Wi-Fi didn't go out. Because if we would have brought him in and he didn't say anything, that means his Wi-Fi went out and Discord is still trying to reconnect him with a lost Wi-Fi port. That's just so odd.
Yeah, it's rare, but it does happen, and at least it happened on a road course and not in the middle of a pack at Talladega.
Yeah, that is very true. 5 laps to go, 7 seconds the difference. Scioli back in 3rd. Should we do a driver of the day?
Might as well.
Who do you got as drivers today? I definitely have mine.
I mean, Seth Knoll, probably. If Dylan Alt was there, probably Dylan Alt. Looking through, honestly, probably David Weishart. Did not expect him to be in the top 10, especially after talking to him in the pre-race. So he's having a solid showing. I'd say Connor Horn as well, and then I'd also go with, I don't know who my 4th would be, but those are the 3 that I like so far.
I'm going to be honest. Wait, can I say driver of the day, even though he made a massive mistake on the start? Because I got to go James Scioli. You don't go from 26th to 3rd in a caution-free race. Like, it's just impossible. And somehow James Scioli has made it possible. Here he is running P3 with all this going on. Did a great job of bouncing back. I think that's worthy of driver of the day, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. I guess I didn't put him in there just because it's kind of expected, because he's one of the more talented drivers that we have in the Cup Series, and that I'm not gonna lie, I kind of expected him to work his way back through. So it doesn't come as a shock to me, but for everyone else, I can understand, and that's a pretty good assessment for a driver of the day.
Indeed. All right, we got 4 laps to go here with the Area Cup Series at Circuit of the Americas. That was Hunter Sleppy as the final moments are approaching of this event. Once again, in 2 weeks' time, we'll be at Talladega Super Speedway. That for the season finale in 2025. Seth Noel on track to win his 3rd race of this season. Victory Fuel will be celebrating tonight's win. We hope you celebrate tonight's win as well with Victory Fuel. Choosing from the best. How about you go ahead and choose from caffeine-free flavors like Throttle Plunge, Purple Potion, or Lucky Lemon. Each can is packed with electrolytes, charged with vitamins, and kid-friendly. Get 10% off your order with code AREA iRacing. Looking for the battles on track, and we don't really see much. The closest one now is Connor Horn and Michael Curran. But still, that is also separated to about a car length and a half. Brake rotors glowing hot, melting. Oh, Connor Horn has a shot on Howell. That's 4th, that's 5th. And we do invite all Area Cup Series drivers to, let's call it the after party with NR Night in America. Just a 30-lap race at Daytona International Speedway. And depending on how that goes, you may have another race after. Curran in the 6th position. John Hall in 7th. And with 3 laps to go, the gap has closed ever so slightly, just under 7 seconds as Jake Nichols tries to close it in. I think Solar Flare is going to be very excited for this 1-2-3. I mean, they had a 1-2-3 at Darlington, which proved to be a really good showing. But now currently 1-2-3 as they stand, with Howell, Horn, and others. Barroso is to the back bumper of Bailey Turner. That's the battle for 11th and 12th. Johns to the wayside. Oh, and around goes the 23 off turn 19. Frankie Barroso, a loop and pull, and there he goes. Will fall to the clutches of P14. And technically just behind them on a different lap, that's Seth Noel. Works his way up, works his way down. Do the cut, heads to the carousel. Dylan Allen able to battle back to 15th, and still a great showing, knowing the fact that he had that big of a gap on the leaders, or the driver sitting second on back, to where he got back in the session, stayed on the lead lap, and now can somehow pull together a top 15, maybe even better. He still has 2 cars up in front of him. All can get Barroso here, which should put him into 14th if he can find his way around the 5. Seth Noel will come to the white flag. Santa Blanca, 1 to go from Circuit of the Americas. Jake Nichols, P2. James Scioli, P3. And what will be the 3rd caution-free race of 2025. Through the S's one last time. Nichols in P2. Scioli, no pressure. Connor Horn, Payne Howell, battle on track. That's her 4th, 5th, and Curhan will make it for 6th. Can Lucky Dog get into the top 5 if Horn desperately wants the Fast 4? Oh, dives it in deep, but won't be enough to win the race. Seth Knoll halfway through and looked all doom and gloom for win number 3. The tides turned right for Solar Flare. A third win in 2025 will come from Austin, Texas, as Seth Knoll is victorious from the Circuit of the Americas. Nichols in second. We watch the battle for 4th. Connor Horn is there. Lock up by Howe. Mind games by the 67. Gets him P4. What a class move by 609. Oh. Broke the axles on Peyton Howe. And Connor Horn finishes P4. That was pretty cool. I liked what I saw. Seth Knoll will go to victory lane. NR Night in America, feeling victories all year long. Gluing with League Night. Seth Knoll, congratulations. We know the microphone is pretty low for us. We have you max out 200. Hopefully you can scream and shout and let it all out. Knoll, big time win, kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, just a quiet night tonight. Sat in P2 and then sucks what happened. I don't know specifically. Sometimes just being in the right spot at the right time works out. That was us tonight. It was 508 on Wednesday, and sometimes it's just good to be lucky.
Are you going for that regular season championship?
Oh yeah, it should put us in a really good spot for next week. I don't know specifically how far we are from Jake, but we should be in a good spot to try and control our own destiny next week and try and go get a W for one of us again next week. Maybe push TK to the win, Phillip, James, or Jake. See what we can do.
All right. What do you want to say to the viewers?
I appreciate you guys for watching. I know that's not necessarily the most entertaining race, but hopefully there was some action in the mid-pack that kept y'all entertained. I know James probably had the most fun driving through the field after the shenanigans through one when I pushed him wide, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and appreciate Drafty Car and JWR hopping on again this week, and try and go get another one next week.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is Seth Knoll, win number 3 of the season. We bring in Jake Nichols. It's P2. It's a close one in theory, but man, the seconds kept tracking down. What did you need, and where do you think you were going to be?
I think, well, I don't know compared to Dylan. Dylan was just lights out quick. It's a shame. I don't know if he like just lagged out or had something crash or something, but it's unfortunate to see that for him, obviously being the fast car. But I think we just got held up too much too early in our 73 JWR race cars Toyota. We just got mirror drove the whole first 10 laps, and it lost us so much time. I don't know if I could have beat Seth straight up. We're kind of even back and forth. Some laps I'd catch him, sometimes he'd pull me, but if we could have got through turn 1 in a better position, maybe we had a shot at him, but either way, we'll take it. It's a 1-2-3 for Solar Flare when, honestly, halfway through there, we thought it was going to be a 2-3-4, so almost max team points. It's close, but either way, we'll pull away from everyone and hopefully just keep doing our thing.
Congratulations on that, indeed. Let's talk about pulling away. Playoffs coming up here soon, and you're going to be one of the big contenders. What are those car track combos looking like? In favor for you? Not in favor?
Pretty good. I like most of the really all the playoff tracks I'm pretty good at. We'll be getting some changes to the Cup cars though, so we're gonna have to kind of relearn some stuff right before the playoffs start, which would be interesting, but kind of throw a little twist into it. But hopefully we can pick up on it fast and bring some great drafty car and JWR race car, Toyota Camry, Solar Flare machines really out there, and hopefully we can. Last season we had 3 of us in the final 4. I'm hoping we can do that again, but last season it was a fuel mileage race, and we managed to screw it up and all lost. So hopefully this season we turn that around and one of us gets the title.
Indeed. Drafticar, if they ever need a commentator.
All right. Well, I'll let you know.
Let me know, for sure. I'll always send some free audio bits for you guys. Question, though. You mentioned the next gen changing. What do we know about it changing?
I think we're under the assumption it's going to be kind of a tire model change a little bit, so we might be driving a little different. Also, the aero platform, so we might have, like, for example, Auto Club that's in the playoffs. That's typically like a drafting track, honestly, with the driving technique through the center of the corner. With how the straightaways are there, we just pack up and a lot of carnage pretty much because we're just so grouped up. But maybe with the changes it'll be more like the real world a little bit with dirty air, which can be bad, can be good, who knows, we'll see. But at least if it separates us a little bit and we're not just on top of each other 24/7, I think we can put on some good shows and definitely have less wrecks, that's for sure. But either way, I'm hoping it makes the racing top notch for the playoffs, and so we can all just race our hearts out and try to win the championship.
Indeed. All right. Congratulations, B2.
Thank you.
That is Jake Nichols. We'll get on to the third place finisher and James Scioli. And I don't know if you should be happy or you should be a little bit down, because I think, Scioli, you had the most fun out of anybody in this race by far, driving to the field. But turn one, lap one really sealed the fate on you winning or losing this event. But battling back for third, I mean, talk about never giving up.
Yeah, for sure. Hard to be mad about third, you know, after all that. I saw Dylan go wide in turn one, and I saw Seth up my inside, and I just saw he was going to go wide too, so I just kind of got in an awkward spot, and I guess, I don't know, I must have throttled it up a little bit or done something that just unsettled the car and just immediately snapped. And so hopefully everybody enjoyed watching the drive through the field. I didn't think I was going to get to third for sure. I was definitely surprised by that, but I had really good pace. I think I had pretty similar pace to Seth, so definitely stings to reckon turn one, lap one, especially with Dylan's internet drop. So definitely felt like I could have been racing for the win in this one.
Do you feel like a top three, though, is still something to hang your head high on?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, especially with how difficult it is to pass on the next gen and road courses, and I was able to do it. I don't think I made contact with anybody. Don't think I made any enemies out there. Shouldn't have any EOLs or anything next week. So definitely super happy with it for sure. Just like I said, stings a little bit knowing what it could have been, but I mean, to battle back and still get good points, that's definitely nothing to be upset about.
Congratulations.
Thank you, and I want to shout out you for taking over the broadcast. Shout out to the admin team as well for putting in the work each week. Shout out to the Solar Flare teammates, Seth Nolan, Jake Nichols, for another 1, 2, 3 for us. Thanks to JWR and Draftycar for being on the car, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, you guys are kicking serious, you know what.
We appreciate it.
We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. James Scioli, always great to talk to with that third place finish. Let's go ahead and run down the unofficial results here from Circuit of the Americas, and it will be on the bottom of your screen. Excuse me, that was the grid. There you go. Seth Knoll, Jake Nichols, James Scioli, Connor Horn, Peyton Howell, Michael Curran, with John Hall, Brandon Bowie, Adam Cabot, and David Weishart making up that top 10. Bailey Turner, Travis Beckner, Reese Schaefer, Dylan Ault, Frankie Barroso, the top 15. Jeremy Miller, Jonathan Evans, Patrick Moose with Bryce Senesac, and Brett Punkari. That makes up the top 20. Hayden Swank, Ben Pierce with Josh Connell and Tyler Nichols, 24th on 4, with Garrett Grant finishing 25th. Out of the race, Max Service, Blaze McKinney, Justin Bondurant, and Seth Berger. And the final two drivers being Ryan Swan and Tanner Betha. That wraps up the programming block for the Area Cup Series. For all the ones waiting for NR Night in America, we see you there in the chat. Session is ready to go live. We'll bring it to our studios here in Nashville, Tennessee for just a moment. We'll drag some drivers into the mosh pit. Excuse me, not the mosh pit. We can't go ahead and do that. We'll drag some drivers into interview, hear from them as well as they get ready to roll. Matter of fact, the first one we'll go ahead and bring in is actually Xander McKinney. Excuse me, I said McKinney. McKinney is one of the drivers kind of waiting there and ready to go. Xander, you got a copy?
I do, John.
You have patiently waited for the Area Cup Series to end. And you got to see the end of that race for NR Night in America. It's going to be a little interesting. You don't have too many laps to work with. 30 laps at Daytona. How are you kind of going into this night? Kind of like that old school late night hour streams we used to do.
That's a good question. I'm not too sure. Just ran a league race. Didn't go too well, but
Oh no.
I'm gonna try and figure out how I can play that a little better, because honestly, I feel super speedway racing I'm decent at, but there's a lot of stuff I can work on. So just maybe trying to figure out where I should be starting out up front, and then where I should end the race.
Indeed. All right, we're going to go ahead and get this thing going. Yeah, it's only going to be about 30 laps, so it is go, go, go. We'll get the drivers on in. We'll let everybody know what's going on. It's going to be the Next Gens at Daytona. That is the race. Next Gens at Daytona. And here come the NR drivers. They've been patiently waiting. They're watching the Area Cup Series, keeping an eye on what was going on. But once again, for the ones that are here, Area Cup Series, go ahead and watch back on it whenever you get the chance to. Circuit of the Americas just came to a close. But yes, Daytona, we do offer and would love Area Cup Series drivers to come in as well, race with some NR guys before the regular season finale in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks from this Monday. Xander, short track racing has been the topic for myself, mainly because I call a lot of races on the short track side. You got to experience the short track scene at Toledo. Did you watch Owasso? I think we watched a little bit of it together.
Yeah, we watched a little bit of it earlier, but I kind of have watched back on a couple things just to kind of learn a little bit more, kind of study up on some of the drivers if I come back for Toledo later on this year. But honestly, I like it a little more every day that goes on, but honestly, I'm pretty happy with how it's gone so far.
Session is up. Passwords IDK Eric W gifting out 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much for that. Indeed, I think the short track bug has kind of caught the Discord because I was doing some things in person. I think it was maybe Saturday. And Dominic Barbagallo, who designs for us at Lucky Duck. Lucky Duck, send some of your drivers over. We got an after party going on. Come on. Thank you so much for the gifted membership as well, but send them over. Josh Cottle, we'd love to see him as well. We know we can get Douglas Newbigging in here. I know Doug doesn't race an area, at least for now, because of how his job kind of lined up with Mondays. But everyone's been kind of catching the short track bug. Dominic Barbagallo was messaging me questions on the ASA, and I was like, well, speaking of Dominic, he actually got a membership. He was asking about, do we have comp yellow stages? You know, do caution laps count? Certain drivers, the schedule, and I think it's pretty unique. The short track side, when we went to Hickory, there's a lot of NR drivers that went to Hickory Motor Speedway for the Rasa Whitmer 255, and it was really cool meeting them, answering some of their questions. So trust me, short track bugs are hitting, and I think a little bit harder. Short track side every single week. You're going to hear my voice somewhere, which is pretty cool. Minus this weekend. I'll be in Florida. But next week will be, I believe, with ASA. Not sure if that'll be pit reporting or over the PA, but the week after that, Flat Rock. You've been to Flat Rock, have you?
I have not.
Oh, never mind. Sorry about that. Maybe. Oh, no. So you're going to go in a couple weeks? Depending on if the weather is good.
I know I've got vacation here in a little bit, but for anybody in the chat who will be going out to Atlanta in a couple weeks, I will be there. So you might see me around at Atlanta through the weekend of 27th through the 30th.
Password is IDK. Depending on how this race goes will depend on if we go to Homestead, and depending on what the live chat is like, you know, how many likes we get and the engagement is, we may bring in Homestead as the final race of the night. And yep, they have packed on in, no doubt about it, for the Daytona race for NR Night in America. We thought about doing this a couple times with area, with certain races, depending on which ones go by quickly. I'm not sure if we'll do it for Talladega, because Talladega's in 2 weeks' time, but at least for this one, the next NR Night in America will be next Monday. So we will be back. We will not be back that Tuesday. I know there's a huge update going on with the Gen 4. We will not be back that day. I don't think I'll be streaming Wednesday, as I will be heading up north to Wisconsin. But yes, we will be streaming the updated Gen 4 at some point the week following. So kind of just keep that all in mind. Contreras, Hendricks, Ortega. I mean, we used to do e-tickets and then end them and then have a race after, called it the after party. It's cool that we can kind of bring that back with the Area Cup Series, at least as of right now. Good bit of drivers. Let's see if anyone from area has kind of come on over. I don't see too many right now, at least from what I saw. Mainly NR regulars and newcomers coming on in. Carlos Truther's in. Douglas Newbiggie, he's representing Lucky Duck. There you go. We can count that, as he has been an area driver before. Mason Gubick is in. Riker Byram is in. Whoa, and there goes the camera. Yes, I'm still unboxing some things. Yeah, not sure what you guys possibly saw over there, but yes, this camera has been wild and wacky. Has not been cooperating at all. Look, it's doing it again. Shake my head. It starts wanting to do that. Oh my gosh, it does it again. Cannot believe what's going on. We have taped this thing down multiple times, so we'll bring it back to Daytona. We'll keep the area overlays up, at least for the sponsors, to go ahead and get some more promotion. We'll continue to chat. Xander, good luck today.
Thank you so much.
Let's bring in Daniel Mosteller. Demos, how are you?
Hi.
Super Mega Baseball?
You don't want to get waxed again, do you?
You did not wax me. I want to point out he has only beaten me 3 or 4 times, and it's only been by 1 run. I do want to point that out.
I have a 3-0 record against you.
Which is ridiculous, because it's always been by 1 run, and you coming back late, which is unbelievable. Well, Tyler Tinsley has blown a 7-run lead in the 9th, so. And you almost passed out, by the way.
I was more nervous playing that than any e-ticket I've ever done here. That was really.
We can do it again.
That was really good.
I don't know how you keep beating me. I'll wear the flow grown unis. Eric W knows about those flow grown unis. Those are sacred the next time we play.
Yeah, I think we'll have to run it back because I have some stuff.
New uniforms? I hate your uniforms. I'll say it. I know hate's a strong word. I do not like those uniforms.
Yeah, I gotta fix a couple people on my team, and I gotta clean some things up, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, I don't really know what to say. It's very interesting in the way our game's always played out. It's very interesting, and it's very unique compared to other games that I've played.
We should have a Super Mega Baseball stream. I'd love to stream against Demos on Super Mega Baseball.
That would be,
but I think I'll get way too into it. I would get way too into it.
That would be peak content. I think everybody would enjoy it.
You can go ahead and advance. I think we have more than enough drivers ready to rock and roll with us. So we'll get ready for what could be the final race of the night. I believe so. Super Mega Base. We may have to stream it in Mosh Pit if we do. If we play again tonight, we'll stream it in Mosh Pit, because following that, I'll have to be packing up and getting ready to go to Florida. But yes, it is actually fun. I do love Super Mega. What is it? Super Mega Baseball 4?
Yes. Well, if you want to get it, you should wait for a Steam sale. We all got it.
Yeah, we got it for $5. That's why we're all playing it.
Don't get it at full price. I don't recommend it at full price. But
oh my goodness! It's a good $5. 60 drivers, only 73 likes and 60 drivers. Ooh, that may go ahead and impact Homestead. We need those drivers to go ahead and drop a like on the stream. Yes, Dakota Enter is IDK, but yes, you guys have been hanging out waiting. I knew we should have had a race in. I didn't add it just in case. I didn't know if the memo got out enough, but clearly it did. I mean, we filled out pretty quickly.
It did. Yeah, I think it did.
Do you kind of like this? Is this kind of like a throwback to the after hours, or when I would get off of work at like 9:30 and quickly get home and start a stream at 11?
Yeah, I was thinking that. It gives me a 2021 feeling. I like it. I like it. I definitely think that if this opportunity presents itself more in the future, that I think it'd be pretty fun, even if it's 1 or 3.
And it is. And honestly, so I'm just going to discuss this, right? When we do these late night hours streams, like, yes, you'll get that play-by-play commentary. I'm almost turning it into a podcast type of way, right? When we get the downtime, we're going to speak, we're going to have fun, we're going to talk about things in NASCAR, we're going to talk about things in motorsports, other things outside, maybe just people from the Discord know about certain things and explain it and show it off to others. But mainly because getting off a lot later, getting home a lot later, on the road a lot more. It's getting harder to do Tuesdays and Fridays. I mean, the only Fridays we can do are e-tickets, and I don't think we have a single Friday e-ticket this summer. We have, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Hoosier 400 is going to be on Sunday. Chicago Street got axed because I have a race that week. And then, if I'm not mistaken, we have a race, the NWP 400 will be on a Sunday night this year, primetime Sunday night. So it is getting harder. So when the opportunity presents itself with these late night streams, we're going to do it. We're going to have fun doing it. Hopefully you're in the live chat hanging out. Unfortunately, that structure, letting you know 2 days ahead of time, it's getting harder just because I don't know what will come about, because I never know when I need to hop on a podcast. I never know when I need to hop on to call a race, go a couple days earlier for setup, to set up the banners and talk with sponsors, and then call the event, and then maybe doing a media tour to gather media for future events. So yes, in-person broadcasting is full-time. It's really event. I work events full-time in person, at least as of this moment in my life. So off-season is going to be great, because you already know off-season is going to go back to 8 Eastern, 7 Central, Tuesdays and Fridays.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a chaotic time.
But I remember we discussed it in December, and I said, hey, the summer, it's going to be tough. Like, when I looked at that schedule, I was like, oh my goodness, are we going to do any NR? But shout out to the Area Cup Series guys. I asked them ahead of time, is it okay if I stream a race of NR, maybe 2 after? Hopefully, you know, you guys watching right now will continue to watch Area, because playoffs are coming. Regular season finale at Talladega is coming. You're not going to want to miss it, I'm telling you. And they said, heck yeah, let's do it. Let's have some fun, as long as you guys love it. So we're going to continue to shout out the sponsors as well for the Area Cup Series, because they have been a big helping hand in getting all this stuff going.
Yeah, those guys are a lot of fun to watch. I race with them, multiple of them on almost a weekly basis, and they are very good. They kind of fly under the radar, especially people in this community who are so accustomed to the NR guys. Those guys are good, and I think if they came in here, they give us a good run for our money.
I think you need to get into Area. Where's Lucky Duck? Is Lucky Duck in here? Lucky, I think we got a driver.
I think I'm busy.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't do a lot of leagues
we're talking about for next year. We're not talking about for now. The opportunity is there. You don't have your schedule yet for 2026.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't do a lot of leagues anymore. I used to do those a lot in 2021, and now I only do, like, you know, one Thursday night.
So I'm going to be the update here. 43 drivers. That is the cutoff. No racing. Because I thought we were going to maybe have like 45 join in, maybe 50. I didn't know we were going to get 60 in 10 seconds. So that's pretty cool. Well, we are ready to go racing. So 43 drivers are in. Who is going home? That is the real question. Jeff Perchatsky, did he make it in? He was 54. Oh, he went up. He barely got in and just bumped out Isaac Hendricks, David Johnson, and Xander McKinney, the final drivers in. Wow. Just barely got in when it mattered the most.
There it is, my friend. Never over till it's over.
I know. You know what? Yeah, we know, because we saw the Super Mega Baseball game. We understand. We understand. That changes tonight. I'm pretty sure that's going to change tonight. Yaroslav Donskoy. I need to interview Mateo Ortiz, because he's been just that good on qualifying. Demos, good luck from here on out. Where is Mateo? My goodness, Mateo Ortiz, your speed has been impeccable in qualifying. What has changed?
What was it?
Your speed has been unreal. What has changed?
I'm not sure, man. I got no idea what I've done different. It's just, I'm just running fast laps all the time. I can't even tell you what I've done different. I'm not even gonna lie.
My. Well, have you been have been cheesing? Do you know what the cheese is?
It's not even cheesing. I'm not even gonna lie. I've just been getting a lot faster, like holding my line a lot better. That's pretty much all it is. You know?
Wow. Well, you have been on a tear, so congratulations on that. Now, how can you finish up here?
We're just going to try and stay up front, hold my line, try and hold the bottom as best I can, hope that line moves forward.
What is that car? What is that car? Is that you? My dude, is that... Are you in the 05?
I changed it on my end. This should change it.
Oh, this is... there's no way you saw that on Trading Pains and said, yup, that's what I'm going to drive.
Oh, no. It was for something different. I just forgot to change it before.
All right,
It
well...
should change your end.
For the long-term viewers, they know you as the cameraman from the Project Cars 2 days. Now they're ready to see if you can be a winner in NR Night in America. Where's your teammate? You got Frank Corley back there. Between you and I, is Frank Corley a good teammate?
He tries to be. There's an attempt to be a good teammate, but...
He attempts to be a good teammate.
I think my teammates try to make fun of me more.
Well, I mean, you're qualifying better than both of them. Where did Carlos Struther qualify? Oh, he didn't even make the grid. Taden, what are you doing? All right, well, they're getting ready to go racing here. You got 30 laps to show off your speed. Maybe get Team T a big-time win. Good luck. Race fans, we're going to get the one to go here. It's showtime from the World Center of Racing. Let's say those magical words. God. Speed drivers, you are go for a throttle up. Last interview, Dominic Barbagallo. How are you?
What's happening, Mr. Ramos?
How's been the AI super late model stuff?
Dude, Connor Jones AI is on a tear.
Get out of here.
He's on a tear.
Wow, that's pretty cool. What short tracks do you have on your AI league?
I tried following the Appalachian Punch, that was called.
Appalachian Sucker Punch, ASA Stars
Punch,
National Tour.
I tried following that as much as I could. They have only like 4 tracks on iRacing.
Yeah.
So at the end, there's New England swing. So.
Oh, you know how Fairgrounds is the finale?
Yeah, that's the finale.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we never know. One day maybe they'll head to New England.
I would love a community event, or maybe even an e-ticket with the super.
I have been asked so many for a community or an e-ticket with the super late models. If enough in-person drivers are actually behind it, enough in-person sponsors are behind it, we may have to make it happen. I'm not sure if it'll be an e-ticket, but definitely a high-end community event. I'm all for.
Yeah, I'm always for it. I think it's awesome.
We're gonna let you go because we're ready to light the fuse from the World Center of Racing. Quick lead to the back bumper of the 05 came slamming in. Frank DeAngelis in 69. Yaroslav Donskoy on the outside. He's got company about. Carlos Struther heads his way to pit road as it's 2-3 wide just behind the fast four. 30 laps. It's go, go, go for 43 cars. New Bigging, Ortiz, Donskoy, Frank DeAngelis come racing to the line. Douglas New Bigging and Lucky Duck lead lap 1. Frank a move to the outside. He's in 3rd. And cut off the nose of James Bomar. New scheme for him, the Mountain Dew Toyota. Rides in line, top side of the racetrack. Mutinous Major. He's on the bottom, up inside the top 10, maybe saying, okay, Daytona after area. What do these drivers have to prove? Well, the NWP 400 is coming soon, and there's already enough demand where drivers are making paint schemes. I have been presented at least 10 to 12 paint schemes from drivers saying, can I run this in the NWP 400 come August? Once we realize, oh man, they're gearing up this early, the summer just started for the summer blockbuster finale in the NWP 400, Let's figure out who deserves a spot in that 8-ticket event. That's Gavin Austin. That's one of his expected entries. That may be a new sponsor for him. That beautiful pizza machine now stuck in the middle with the 82 on the inside. They're shuffling about as Douglas Newbigging leads the field back to the line with Alexander Ortega in second. Zachary Trull, James Bomar and company. All riding top end of the speedway. Breakaway, this is group number 2. Led by Christian Delgado, he sits 28th. Eric LeBombard. Alexander Ortega, newcomer to the lead. And he's got something to prove as well. Can he make it into the show? A win in June may slot yourselves in the duels come August. 27 to go. Horley in third. Newbigging to the inside. Holds the 7, 3 wide. Horley's there on top. Zachary Trull as well. And then you got Joseph Tucker. Tucker in the number 8. Slams the back end of the driver sitting in front of him. 25 laps to go from the World Center of Racing. They're mostly tucked in 2x2. 3 wide goes Newbigging. He bails out of the throttle and bails out of mostly the main end of the top 10. Tyler Tinsley's on the scene. He's back there. Trouble. Spin. Derek Shaver goes into the grass. We did not see a full spin. We stay green. That is enough to at least check up the field. Mosteller is back there as well, and if this is the way it is, we could see a race to the checkered flag in green flag conditions. 24 to go. Frank Horley leads. Bomar on the bottom. Aladam Contreras tucked in line as well. Zachary Trull in 8th. Donskoy, Austin, James Bomar. And look at D'Angelo's looking one way, looking the other. Trying what he can to make some ground, make some moves. Orley gets out in front of him, but that's a lot of daylight. Almost thought about jumping to the bottom. Tucks back in line with the fellow Ford. Inside lane, Mutinous Major on the scene with the 20 machine of James Bomar. Daniel Mosteller, nose damage. Inside lane. DeAngelis in the middle. Horley to cover. Major on the outside. 22 to go. We want to say thank you to everybody that's dropped a like on this stream. It has been one fun ride of racing. Bomar to the outside. Horley up there to cover. Tucker up the middle. Jackson buys back in the 10th spot. He starts to corral the outside lane. Not really room to roam. Top end now goes James Bomar as Frank DeAngelis tries to beat him in the line. Bomar led that one. And Yaroslav Donskoy hanging out top end. Bomar's been really good, really quick. But can he keep the drivers right behind him? There's Frank Horley. Shoves, oh, nearly on the quarter panel. Bomar in front of him, 20 to go. It's been just one good run after another. Morley DeAngelis on the inside. Third place, Eladam Contreras. Got a nice move back to the outside. Frank DeAngelis will lead that lap. Single file must have had an issue deeper in the field. Or maybe it's just that single file. There's Xander McKinney back there in the 66. 21st and company. Riker Byram, Tyler Tinsley in 16th. And the pack has mostly broken apart. 18 to go. I want to say hello to Tell No Lies. Love you guys. Been watching since like the second race ever, but been really busy with life, so haven't been able to watch. Love you dudes. Love you too, man. Love all the viewers that have been hanging out. We know everything has been changing, but the fact that we still have people watching is what truly counts, and is honestly a whole lot of fun. Hear the stories, the changing tides. Well, with changing times and still racing going on the sim side. Contreras on top, Ortega right with him. Eladam Contreras leads that lap. Trul is there, outside lane. Eladam to the bottom, DeAngelis right with them, 3 wide, here comes Trul. Trul with Austin. Austin with the 17. Dominic Barbagallo starts thundering to the front. 16 to go from Daytona. And that second group is starting to close in. Frank DeAngelis hasn't been to victory lane in what felt like years. He sits second. Bomar sits third. Frank Horley sits fourth. Do what you gotta do to find victory lane. The question now is, where do you go if you're running in second? Right, you're Frank, you're there, you got Bomar underneath you. Now DeAngelis is shoving Eladam Contreras to turns 1 and 2. James Bomar, Frank Horley, they're toe-to-toe. Zachary Trul in tow. Gavin Austin is there. The convoy's on the scene. Derek Shaver on the bottom. Fight the good fight, 14 to go. Only driver out of this race, David Johnson, he's 43rd. 42 drivers still left racing for the win. Bomar, Contreras, DeAngelis, they make up the top three. And the question now is, can that second group close in? What was the second group now becomes group one. Here's group two. This is 20th on back. William Schmidt in that 42. Keith Ingram. A lot of drivers back here. We're waiting on a caution. Sideways buys. Saves it in the grass. And will reform with the field. Damage, that's Riker Byram and his Ford. Just barely clambering on. Frank DeAngelis, Frank Horley. That's 1-2. All right, you're within view. Le Bombard on the bottom in his 58 machine. DeAngelis is able to clear to the bottom. Frank DeAngelis, Frank Horley, 12 to go. And something's got to give, right? Here's group one, there's group two back there. Group three in the draft, somewhat just scattered. And Horley's on the bottom, thundering away. Zachary Truel. Was a favorite heading into the Indiana 500. He rides in view. 3 wide, nearly 4 wide, Bryson Bird. DeAngelis in second. 10 to go. And this is where the anticipation builds, right? This race has been caution-free up to this moment. When you relax, yellows are going to be on. 60 drivers entered for 43 spots. What you got is what you got. Looking, swaying, moving. Trying any way to net gain. Horley to the inside, picks up Eladon Contreras, 9 to go. Eladon top side, inside Horley. Tucker's in view, DeAngelis in view. Barbagallo, Tyler Tinsley. Now tucked in together. You see where Frank DeAngelis is, riding around the third. Eight to go. Hope so, Lucky Duck, hope so. Six-car breakaway. And that's one thing about this aero package they talked about at Talladega, and we actually spoke on, Jared and I, heading into the Alabama 500. It's so easy to break away when drivers start worrying about the guy next to them. Once you start doing those crazy side drafts, you start pulling away from the drivers out in front of you, and that's where we've seen those breakups in the pack. Drivers trying to make moves, they can't make moves. And then once they start holding on, I think that guy next to them is as important as the ones in front of them. They start losing sight of what's ahead. And with 7 to go, we still have 42 cars. Now make it all 43 cars turning laps at Daytona. Tyler Tinsley, he hits the apron. Gavin Austin on the bottom. Mutinous Major. And there's Carlos Truther helping his teammate and Frank Horley. Team T doing what they can. Remember, Truther missed the start of this race. He automatically went a lap down. Knowing if this goes caution-free, a team win could in theory just be enough to put a smile on a 40th place finish. We've seen it before, the Champagne Bros did it at Daytona back in 2021. It was controversial, but it was legal. Look at that huge pack of machines. Very deep behind. Top 20 will be shown for the remainder of this race, left side of your screen. Joseph Tucker, the race leader. Doesn't have pressure from behind. Here comes the storm downstairs, Lambombard. A name I keep making mistakes on, it's really LaBombard. Downstairs, Eladon Contreras. Truther to the inside, Horley with him. Joseph Tucker up top. Here comes DeAngelis. Frank DeAngelis thunders up the fourth. Thunders up the third. Oh, Horley sideways off the nose of his teammate. Is sideways with oncoming traffic. The caution will wave. It may just be the saving grace where that caution came out will be where Frank Horley lines up. Overtime finished the first caution of the night. Wow. Here are the leaders. LaBombard, Frank DeAngelis, and from the looks of things, LaBombard, Frank DeAngelis, Eladon Contreras, and James Bomar will be your Fast Four. Carlos Truther will get back on the lead lap. Frank Horley, they have him slotted currently in 30th. Watch the replay here. I mean, he just straight up hooked him. Watch from the cockpit view of Truther. I almost want to see that again, this time for the gyro cam. Let's see where that nose of the 54 is to the WL line, because we see Horley sneaking up. Oops. So we'll have a restart. Let Bombard, Frank DeAngelis, Eladom Contreras. And with it being 10:16 and me having to wake up in about 6 hours, this looks to be the final race of the night. We get ready to go. Slow and steady for now. As we'll all get ready to bring him back under the green flag. There's Eladom, there's James Bomar, Gavin Austin. The one to go will be displayed this time by. Let's see if we can get an interview. John Stamos, John Ramos, you got a copy?
Yeah, it's
I know you're not yawning in this interview.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, the last time you went to Victory Lane, long ago. Before a time of green names.
Before time had a name.
Before
I can recite the whole intro. I can recite the whole intro right now.
Oh, can you actually?
I don't want to.
Well, it's been a while since you got a Victory Lane, and it's almost like you got lost in from because there was a huge tree stuck in the middle of the road. By the way, Frank DeAngelis, there was a tree stuck in the middle of the interstate on my way to Hickory Motor Speedway. I saw that thing, looked to my right of my mirror, and guess what I did? Shot the gap, held that thing wide open, didn't hear a single crow. For the flow, I don't know why I said flow, for the From fans, you know exactly what I'm talking about, Frank. You have no logs in your way. You have a bunch of drivers in your mirror. You have a Lambombard to your inside. How do you not win this race?
Well, considering I've been top 4 or top 5 for every lap, it just means I'm going to lead coming to the white or get involved in someone else's really stupid move. So, call him a shot now. If that doesn't happen, I'm going to win.
Okay. Okay. Viewers, do you think Frank DeAngelis will win?
Nope.
Do you guys forgive Frank DeAngelis after his wild acts at the conclusion of the Florida 500? Has yet to win an e-ticket. Possibility this or no, you have not won an e-ticket. I don't want to hear it.
All right, asterisk. There's an asterisk next to it.
No, second.
Asterisk.
Second.
Get ready to watch me get wrecked.
Oh, wow. See, that's why you're not winning these races. You think you're going to get wrecked and go, voila.
I guess what happens.
All right. You know what? Which shot do you want to go to?
The one I was in before.
Okay, good to know. Pace car makes a hard left onto pit road. 2 to go from Daytona. Mateo Ortiz needing help from Dominic Barbagallo. That outside lane just does not form the way they need to. D'Angelo's sealed in the Chevrolet. Bombard trying to block bottom. And that's going to give the run to James Bomar off turn 4. If he can size something up with Ortega, this race is going to be official. Salamanca, 1 to go from Daytona. One lane moves, the other doesn't. And that 69 is going to wait to the final moment to make a run for the checkered flag. If he does, he needs Bomar to go with him. Wreck in the back, Jeff Perchatsky slides to the apron. Here comes Contreras. Inside with Ortega. Inside with Bomar. DeAngelis made a move, got blocked once, make it twice. James Bomar trying to win this race. Final time off turn 4. Wrecking, spinning towards the back half. Checkered flag, Bomar, victorious from the world center of racing. As the field came apart, Toyota takes reign. DeAngelis 5th, Ortega 4th, Contreras 2nd, and Bombard finishes P2, PBR, hello, victory lane. And that's how it all ends. Fun night of racing with the Area Cup Series. We got one race of NR in, one caution all night. Love how clean everyone was with it being a late night race. The maturity of the drivers, the love from the viewers. You know what? At the end of the day, it's just one of those good old American nights. NR Night in America, feeling victories all year long. Want to say thank you to everyone that has tuned in tonight and how fun it was. Burns it down on the front straightaway. Race fans, I'll see you next week, because NR Night in America will be happening at 8 Eastern, 7 Central next Monday on the IDK Player YouTube channel. And that's how we finish off the night. I'm John Ramos saying so long. And I'll see you once again next week, Monday, for more NR Night.